Big Bend. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Helene was Category 4 when she crashed into the Florida coast southeast of Tallahassee last night.
It was absolutely incredible and unfortunately very destructive as well. The highest wind gusts, because the wind's also bringing down numerous trees and power lines here in the state of Florida. Over 1 million residents without power this morning.
Fox Weather's Michael estimate at least 3 people have died in the storm, 1 in Florida, 2 more in Georgia. Helene has now been downgraded to a tropical storm. The storm surge combined with the heavy rainfall now making it a flooding event. Flash flood warnings stretch from northern Florida into western North Carolina. Fox weather meteorologist Bob Van Dillen interrupted a live shot in Georgia on Fox and Friends this morning when he heard a woman screaming for help. He rescued her from her submerged car.
She was still strapped into her car, and the water's actually rising and getting up into the car itself. So she was about, almost neck deep.
Van Dillen carried her to safety. She's okay. Vice President Harris headed to the battleground state of Arizona today in the border town of Douglas.
She is expected to give details on her proposal to send new agents to the border, as well as new technology to stem the flow of fentanyl. Douglas is Arizona's second largest port of entry along the southern border.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, former President Trump, telling a news conference in New York yesterday the trip is a waste of money.
She should go back to the White House and tell the president to close the border. He can do it with the signing of just a signature and a piece of paper to the Border Patrol.
The Trump campaign moving a planned outdoor rally scheduled for Wisconsin tomorrow indoors at the request of the Secret Service over staffing shortages because of the UN General Assembly. President Biden signing an executive order yesterday creating a task force to study and find solutions to gun violence. America is listening to Fox News.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccines subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
In the Middle East, Hezbollah launching more missiles toward Israel this morning.
Northern Israel continues taking heavy fire from Hezbollah. Israeli troops are preparing for a possible ground offensive into Lebanon. The Israeli Air Force commander says a key priority is stopping Iran from resupplying Hezbollah with weapons. Another priority is taking out Hezbollah leadership. Hezbollah confirms a strike in Beirut yesterday killed its commander, Mohammed Srour, who led the group's drone unit. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu authorized that strike while flying to the United States. He's also backtracking after denying any involvement in American-led talks for a 3-week pause in the fighting.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu will address the UN General Assembly in New York today. New York's Mayor Eric Adams to be arraigned in Manhattan federal court this noontime on his grand jury indictment for allegedly trading favors for campaign contributions.
From here, my attorneys will take care of the case so I can take care of the city. My day-to-day will not change.
Amid growing calls for him to resign, the mayor says he will not step down. Federal judge has blocked New York State's Attorney General Letitia James in her attempts to stop pregnancy centers from promoting a reversal of the abortion pill.
James had named 11 pro-life ministries in a lawsuit, alleging that they were spreading dangerous misinformation by promoting abortion pill reversals. But the federal judge issued a preliminary injunction blocking her attempts to take action against the clinics on the grounds that would restrict protected free speech. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
A day after his meeting with President Biden and another $8 billion weapons grant, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet with former President Trump today. I'm Jack Callahan. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Early voting for the November general election is underway throughout much of Illinois. Registered voters can cast their ballots early through November 4th. Early voting kicks off in Cook County and the city of Chicago early next month. Second phase of the South Mahomet Road project done. South Mahomet Road now connects Churchill to Prairie View Road. Cars drove on it for the first time after the village hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony Wednesday. It was the second phase of the project. It supports transportation between local streets and state and federal highways. State Treasurer is returning missing money to nearly 140,000 residents. A record-setting 138,000 people are in line to receive a total of just over $13 million from the state's unclaimed property program. The checks are part of the latest round of the Enhanced Money Match program that allows the Treasurer's office to automatically return money to individuals without the need to file a claim. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. I'm Diane Ducey in studio, Stevie J live, and had a road trip and checking in with us from West Point. We'll do that in just a moment. First, we're all captivated with what's happening with Hurricane Helene. Our weather with Greg Soye, our meteorologist, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window, your premier provider for home improvement, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, outdoor living. Visit kramersiding.com. Greg, update us. What's happening?
Well, Diane, the latest on Helene, of course, making landfall in that Big Bend corner area of Florida yesterday late afternoon, evening time with 105 to 120 mile per hour wind. That was a Cat 4 that came ashore on 15 to 25 foot storm surge along the immediate coast. So, yeah, there is a lot of issues there. And the forward progress has kept a fair amount of wind going as well as far north as the western Carolinas this morning, much of Georgia, northern and eastern Alabama with wind gusts still in the 65 to 70 mile per hour range. It is now a downgraded but still strong tropical storm, winds to 60 miles per hour, and the current circulation is about 80 miles or so east-northeast of Atlanta, Georgia. It will begin to slow its forward speed once it gets into middle Tennessee, and that's where it'll sit for a couple of days with big flooding rainfall there, and obviously back into the southern Appalachians. The northern and western flank of that counterclockwise east to west now movement, the rain has made it through the better part of Vermilion County, parts of Champaign County, kind of lined up from here in Champaign back north towards around Fowler, Indiana, and then from Decatur on southward. The heaviest rain we think will stay I-70 on southward. But a rainy next couple of days, but next week it gets much better from an outdoor work and harvest standpoint. We have a reading of 63 at Willard and Savoy right now. Later on today, forecast high expected to top out, generally around 75. It will be a windy day to say the least with a wind advisory till midnight tonight. They'll crank and pick on up at 25 to 35 gusts to 50 miles per hour this afternoon, while much of the first half of tonight with a low down to 63, and passing showers tomorrow and lesser coverage on Sunday. Weekend highs in the low to mid 70s, low 60s at night. But then next week, nice, sunny and dry and mild. 78 on Monday, 75 Tuesday, upper 60s Wednesday, low to mid 70s next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Soldier.
Thank you, Greg. All righty. I'm Diane Ducey, and it's 7:08 on this Friday, September 27th. I have Stevie J checking in now. Stevie, how are you this morning? I might need to press a different button. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go to a commercial and check in with Stevie.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Hey.
How are you?
Well, I'm illuminated. I'm great. It's we got kind of spontaneous, and my son-in-law Jacob Hurtubise and his wife Grace, my daughter Janet, and I jumped in the car with them, and we drove to West Point, New York, home of the Academy, the West Point Academy, and 12 hours later, we are here, got in last night, and just got it's such a unique area. It is so mountainous here in this part of New York. But I'm looking forward to taking a tour of West Point Academy. And it's, Janet and I right now found a place about 15 minutes outside West Point in Cornwall, New York. It's not very far, but we're on the 7-acre, I don't know if you call it a plantation, but it's a beautiful home with pillars. And this, we've never, Diane, I'm sure you've slept in places that were built a long time ago. The place we slept in last night, my friends, was built. Diane, when was the place we slept in last night built?
1865.
280 years ago, 1764.
Whoa!
George Washington was 32, and it was 25 years before he became president of the United States. So this is to say, there's a guy named David Cromwell. He was a New York banker, pretty well off, had 10 kids, and the place we're in would have a hard time holding more than 2 or 3 kids, maybe 2. So they built the mansion across the way here with big pillars, but they had to obviously use outhouses, and they have a major outhouse also still here that's got 7 potties in it.
Wow.
So just think about, you being upset because you're out of toilet paper, okay? You'd be upset because you forgot to buy milk. It's a different upset because our forefathers and we're getting a lot of that, but the people that kind of helped build this country, they just had a little harder time. That's why life expectancy back then was about 48 years old. So we've improved a lot as far as how long we can live. But anyway, so we get to see West Point, and of course George Washington looked up on top of kind of where West Point is and looked down at the Hudson River and decided that was a perfect spot to see the British coming in during the Revolutionary War. And he actually barricaded it and put chains under the water, massive chains, so ships could not come through. So it was George Washington that initiated the spot. It was actually Thomas Jefferson in 1802, our third president, who kind of started officially at 1802 the West Point Academy. They thought it was going to be a great place to train young men. Now there's 21% women, but at the time young men into being leaders. And we've had 2 presidents of the United States that went through West Point. Can you guess one? 2 presidents attended West Point. Later became the president. 2 very prominent names. One with roots in Illinois, actually. And the other one was massive in World War II.
Grant?
The answers is very good. Ulysses S. Grant, who in Galena still has a home you can tour, but I think he's buried here at West Point. And then our second one, the commander of the Allies during World War II, Dwight David Eisenhower. Yep, our 34th president. So it's pretty prominent, and it's highly regarded. You can get, according to the latest polls and everything, you can get one of the best educations at West Point. About 1,200 cadets are allowed. They have about an 11% acceptance rate. So out of 1,000, they'll take about 110. So hard to get in, there's no question. So Jacob went here and loves it here and has obviously a lot of memories here. And he played baseball for West Point, for Army. And so we're gonna go see the museum and tour campus a little bit. It's kind of a big baseball fundraising weekend. Army beat Temple last night at Temple, so there was no activity around here. But no, it's going to be kind of a learning weekend. We got Brother Johnny coming up at the bottom of the hour. Diane will carry us through in the 8 o'clock hour. It's fun when you get out and around a little bit and start learning a little bit more about where you live and the people that came before us. But really, really looking forward to getting some more information to share along the way. Very, very nice weather, by the way. I don't know what it is in Champaign. I'm sure it's like 75 or something today, but we're kind of comparable out here. We got a big golf scramble. I'm not part of that. Jacob's not going to play because he kind of finished the baseball season with the Reds a little banged up, so he's going to hang low and just watch and stuff. But I'll plenty to talk about here this hour, and as we go into next week, we'll be back on the show Monday, as we'll drive home on Sunday, so we'll have a long day in the car again on Sunday. So let's jump to our morning sports. ESPN 93.5 is, I know last night, kind of tracking the Dallas Cowboys, got a tough win against the New York Giants. It's a bunch of parity in the NFL this year. And the Cardinals lost a tough one, I do know that. And the Cardinals, by the way, I think they're tied with the Cubs going into the weekend. Cubbies get the Reds in Chicago. Cardinals are in San Francisco, right, Diane? So we'll see who finishes ahead of who. Maybe they'll tie this year. That'd be appropriate.
Right, and the Chicago White Sox at 7-0 blanked the LA Angels yesterday. So they keep winning, even though fans are wanting
They don't have the all-time loss record?
Not yet. It's tied.
What's wrong with them?
I know. It's so so funny.
Who do they play? Anybody know? See if
They're
the White
coming
Sox
up
need
with
one more loss.
Detroit this weekend with a 5:40 start. So maybe they'll win lose against the Tigers to actually get the losing
Detroit's
record.
had a pretty good year, so I'll be shocked if they sweep. But you never know. Those White Sox getting hot. Season tickets will start flying off the shelf next week.
That's right. All right, and yes, you're right. We have a series starting up. Cincinnati's up in Wrigley with a 1:20 start over on US 105.9. Jameson Taillon will be on the mound. And for the Cardinals, well, not so much. It was a great game, though, and Colorado Rockies finally won one. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney, and yesterday in Denver, Colorado, it was more like the wind blowing out at Wrigley Field. Many hits, 26 of them, 18 runs scored, but the Rockies scored a 10-8 win.
And they did it by getting 5 runs in the 8th inning after back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning by Ryan Fernandez. He couldn't get that final out. 5 hits in a row. Again, a 5-run inning, and the Cardinals lost the lead there and couldn't come back in the 9th.
The Cardinals move on to San Francisco, and tonight here in the Bay Area, the Cardinals will face the Giants and a pitcher we haven't seen, Landon Roop. He's 1-1 as Miles Michaelis will go for his 10th win.
Miles has been good lately, trying to pick up that win number 10, and it's his last start of the season. He'd like to finish strong.
The Cardinals, since coming back from Toronto after a 3-game sweep by the Blue Jays, won 3 out of 4 against the Pirates, 2 out of 3 against the Guardians, 2 out of 3 against the Rockies, but the Rockies won yesterday 10-8. Airtime tonight from San Francisco, 8:20, 9:05. Ricky will have the lineups. I'll bring you the first pitch around 9:15 Central Time.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Steve, you mentioned it, that we had Dallas over the Giants 20-15. We'll have New Orleans at Atlanta, although they're getting a lot of rain. Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. Minnesota's at Green Bay, and the LA Rams in Chicago to face the Bears. You'll hear that action over on Q96. Of course, Illinois and Penn State tomorrow at 6:30 on NBC.
I'm only a few hours from Happy Valley, actually.
Why don't you go? Get your orange out.
Yeah, well, I could do that, but yeah, not going to. I'm at West Point, man.
Okay.
I am going to try and obviously watch it. The Illini still pretty firm underdogs in that game at, I think it's 18, 18-point underdogs against Penn State. Listen, they're obviously a great team, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Play the game, see what happens, but needless to say, you win that game coming up on an off week for Illinois. If we stood at 5-0, it'd be nuts around here. So let's go win. Let's go see what we can do.
That's
It'll be a pretty big. It'd be the second biggest upset of the season so far, with Northern beating Notre Dame number 1. So I mean, there's a gap there. We'll just see how we can handle it with our 107,000 screaming fans.
That's
okay,
right.
We're gonna check some weather. What's our weather brought to you by maybe Urbana Park District?
That's right. And the Busey Bank, of course. We got your Fox Business Minute coming up.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it.
And destructive Hurricane Helene making landfall into the Big Bend area of Florida yesterday, late afternoon, early evening time, packing better than 100-mile-per-hour winds. Currently situated in tropical storm form and fashion east of Atlanta, Georgia. Slew of high winds above 60 miles per hour all across the western through southern Carolinas and through Alabama and Georgia. Pretty quick north-northwestward speed on that, but rapid weakening down to depression later later this afternoon and evening time once again into Middle Tennessee. Wide and expansive rains overhead to the east and south will continue to build to the north and west, counterclockwise around that circulation right on through the next couple of days. Next week, it is a mild and dry weather pattern. Hang in there with harvest in mind. 75 today, down to 63 tonight, 73 tomorrow, mid-70s on Sunday, dry next week. Heads up over the next 24 to 36 hours for those high winds up to 50 miles per hour. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solgay.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to the PCE index, the inflation update for August. Stock futures are flat after the S&P 500 closed at a record yesterday, its 42nd of the year. Before the end of the year, Intel and the U.S. government are expected to finalize a deal to provide the chip maker with $8.5 billion in grants. The Financial Times says in addition to those grants, the preliminary agreement includes up to $11 billion in loans for Intel in Arizona, where some of the funding will be used for new factories and to modernize an existing plant. Hotel room prices are jumping, not just in expensive locations. The Wall Street Journal says this year, 20% of hotels in the top 25 U.S. markets are charging at least $200 a night. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Political news is sure to dominate the headlines in 2024, adding uncertainty to the markets. This makes a disciplined investment strategy even more critical to achieving your long-term goals. To assure your investments are aligned with your objectives, contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Have you heard about the Raise the Woof event on Saturday, September 28th?
Yes, it's Habitat for Humanity of Champaign County's biggest fundraiser. Teams from all over are building great pet houses to raise money, helping families in need get safe, affordable housing.
Go to the Champaign County Restore at 1914 Glen Park Drive in Champaign from 9 to 3. They're even looking for more build teams to join in.
Just visit cuhabitat.org to register your team. Don't miss Raise the Woof on September 28th.
Sponsored by Tenet Wealth Partners.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
ESPN 93.5. Good morning. I'm Stevie Jay. We are live near West Point, New York, home of the West Point Academy. Looking forward to learning a whole lot about that in the next couple of days. Just a quick weekend trip, but really gives you some kind of background as to where you came from and kind of people that came before us. In fact, there's a trail here, a lot of trails, hiking trails. I understand we're probably going to walk one or two of those. And as you walk this one very near us now, when you get to the top, it's about an hour hike up. But when you get to the top, Diane, you can see the skyline of New York City.
Nice.
So I think it's about a 45-minute train ride in from here, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so we're fairly close to New York City. I think all the East Coast, I've just never really been at the, driving from Philadelphia to Washington to New York. I mean, it's all pretty tight. It's not like us driving out to Kansas City. You know, it's just a lot closer proximity. I just haven't been on the East Coast driving a lot. But no, it's I mentioned that we're staying in the Cromwell house. David Cromwell was a banker from New York way back when, in the 1740s and 50s and 60s. And he built this place where we're staying. So the house we stayed in last night was actually built in 1764, which is just hard to grasp. It's so long ago, before America, before the Revolutionary War, all of that stuff. And one of David Cromwell's 10 children was actually on the Hudson River, and one of his friends fell in. I'm not sure, part of it was iced over or whatever, but as they were kids, he saved his friend. Then when the Civil War broke out, obviously we split. There's a lot of West Point, you know, cadets that left West Point and served in the Confederate Army. As a Union, the Confederacy fought for 4 years of the Civil War. But one of David Cromwell's children saved his friend in the ice and the water in the Hudson. And then they were in the same regiment in the Civil War. And in the Civil War at Gettysburg, David Cromwell's son, I think his name was Daniel, saved his friend again and then lost his life. So one of the Cromwell kids did lose his life at Gettysburg, but his friend, you know, survived and told the story of what had happened. But so stories like that, you know, resonate a lot with, you know, the what they went through. And the Civil War was just, as all wars, but that one particularly horrific because some cases brother fighting against brother. But I think Robert E. Lee came from West Point. Just that there's just, you get a list of, in 1915, Dwight David Eisenhower graduated here from West Point. There are 3 others also in the same class of 1915. That is 9 years ago. 4 generals came out of that class. 4 generals.
Wow.
And Dwight Eisenhower, of course, rose to the presidency as well. So a whole bunch of history here this morning for you guys. I just have been reading a lot about it and just appreciating the beam in our bedroom last night. Some dude in 1764 they had ladders, I guess, but he's probably, because it's the second floor, so he's standing probably on another 2x6 or something, just hammering those beams in. I don't know, but it's just hard to fathom the tools and the things they had then, hammers and nails and things like that. But I mean, not the stuff we didn't have. There was no power nailers used in that home. The modern conveniences we take for granted are, I mean, that generation just probably would shake their head and go, man, that's soft. That is soft. Well, all right, lots going on. We got an election coming up November 5th. And, you know, you're seeing and hearing all kinds of things, as we all are. You're trying to decipher what's true, what's not true. But there's certainly polling out there that suggests Kamala Harris is ahead in some, Donald Trump ahead in some. Remember last time in 2020 and 2016, Biden had like a, 6-point lead. Hillary had a 9-point lead in 2016. So these polls, I'm very, very confident, are very much leaning left on a whole lot of them. Depends on, Quinnipiac is probably the worst. And they've averaged missing these things by 7 points. I mean, they're not very good, but when you read a bunch of them, they all say that Harris is in great position, then it might discourage the other side, all these other things. But if you drill down into methodologies, far more Democrats are being asked these questions than Republicans. Maybe the Republicans don't want to talk about it. And the Republicans are trying to kind of get in on pushing for early voting, which we're going to have a lot in Champaign County, and getting out there early this time, which a Republican voter generally likes to go the day of. So they're pushing their base, and there's been a whole lot of new registrations. I know in Pennsylvania, Republican registration far outpaces Democratic new registration. So whatever that means, doesn't mean they're going to go and vote. So we're going to break. We'll come back. Brother Johnny will jump on from New Orleans. I'll be with you till 8 this morning, live from West Point, New York. I'm Stevie Jay. Diane will be right back.
All right. Thank you, Stevie. ESPN 93.5 supporting Restore, the Habitat for Humanity, with their big Raise the Woof event that starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow at 1914 Glen Park Drive. Learn more at cuhabitat.org.
Hi, Ellen Hook here, owner of your local Ashley. I have a big announcement. The Champaign Ashley store is getting a fresh new look, and you're invited to the remodel sale. Right now, save up to 65% off furniture and accessories throughout the store, with hundreds of items in stock and ready to take home today. But that's not all. Join us outside under the carport every weekend in September and October for extra savings on select furniture. It's all happening at your local Ashley in Champaign at 602 West Anthony Drive. Hurry into Ashley because these deals won't last long.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Helene, now a tropical storm center just east of Atlanta carrying 60-mile-per-hour winds. That from the National Hurricane Center. It roared ashore last night in Florida's Big Bend region. Fox Weather's Michael Estime in Tampa.
Basements that have been flooded. It is parking garages that have been flooded, and it's homes that have been flooded as well. We picked up over 7 feet of storm surge in Port Tampa.
The State Fire Marshal in Florida, Jimmy Petronis.
It's going to be pretty gruesome. When you have that type of storm surge coming across those low-lying areas, what has been recovered from the last 2 hurricanes is probably all going to be destroyed all over once again.
He joined Fox and Friends First earlier. At least 3 are dead from the storm. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Champaign woman sentenced to 324 months in prison for conspiracy to distribute meth. Prosecutors say Malia Turner was a leader in the conspiracy responsible for obtaining large quantities of drugs from suppliers in California, Texas, and Illinois, and transporting those drugs to central Illinois. After a string of sextortion cases, University of Illinois Police is giving student tips to prevent being a victim of a crime. In the past 10 days, they say they're aware of these separate incidents of students scammed into sexual extortion. They ask students to only engage in intimate conversations with people you know and trust. Be careful on sharing personal information. This year's Illinois Fall Trout Season opens next month. It'll open October 19th at 60 ponds, lakes, and streams throughout the state. The early catch and release season scheduled to open October 5th. No trout may be taken from any of the stock sites until the regular fall season starts. The daily catch limit is 5 trout. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, Jim just mentioning some fishing. Fishing is part of the Take a Child Outside Week with great activities, including fishing, yard games, hiking, the Bubble Bonanza. Take a Child Outside Week wraps up tomorrow on the 28th with the Urbana Park District doing their Central Illinois Bat Festival at the Anita Purvis Nature Center from 1 to 4 tomorrow, and then 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening as you head to Crystal Lake Park. Learn more at urbanaparks.org. Our weather forecast from our meteorologist, Greg Solier.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for you, Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Impact on weather around here. Compliments of that weather system to the south and Helene making landfall yesterday evening time. Still a tropical storm east of Atlanta, Georgia, and still packing 65 to 70 mile per hour winds over the southeastern part of the country. And yeah, the rain is into play, covering about the southeastern half of the listening area. It'll creep as far north as just about the Kankakee and to about the I-55 corridor over the next couple of days. Steadiest of the rainfall for today and through tonight. Highs up to 75. We'll bottom out tonight to around 63. Watch those northeast winds. They'll pick up, gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour, and a wind advisory till midnight tonight. Highs up to 73 tomorrow. Still windy with a couple of showers both morning and afternoon. Lingering rain chance for the day Sunday. Mostly cloudy, 75. Combines and outdoor work will be a rolling with a nice spell of weather ahead for next week. 78 on Monday. Sunshine, 75 Tuesday. Cooling to 68 on Wednesday. Back in the 70s next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-6 888-866-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Do you need some extra cash?
Be a special census field representative and make $18.83 an hour. You'll be working a small area on campus and have some flexibility with this job.
A special census is coming to campus residents around the University of Illinois. Field representatives are needed through November with Urbana's partial special census.
Visit urbanaillinois.us/census jobs.
Make $18.83 an hour. Visit usajobs.gov/jobs and look for the city of Urbana.
ESPN 93.5 live from West Point, New York. I am Stevie Jay. Looking forward to taking the tour today. Brother Johnny is down in New Orleans. No problem from the hurricane. He went into the Panhandle, didn't it, Johnny?
The Big Bend.
Yeah, the Big Bend. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful day today here. Wow, it went to a bad category 4. Jesus. Wow.
Oh my gosh! What the heck?
That's a disaster.
Wow, I didn't know it built to a 4. Man, that's horrible. So I'm again a little out of the loop. Any damages in the Big Bend there, or do we know?
Well, it hit
horrible.
last night, so I have just recently woke up down out here, and it's not 8:30 everywhere, Steve. So
it's true. Sorry. Yeah, I'm East Coast and wide awake, and I just sat on a little lawn chair here on the patio where we're staying, and it was wet, so I got wet. That's always comfortable. Anyway, it's
the home of Robert E. Lee and Eisenhower, and don't forget about George Custer. He got last in his class, but he graduated. He made it.
I did not know George Custer did. It is Ulysses S. Grant also was another one. So we've had 2 that became. I did look it up. Somebody had suggested Donald Trump went here. He did not. He went to Wharton, which I think's in.
Well, he was in a military school in high school, but he never went.
That's right. There's interesting here at this beautiful place. There's actually a couple from Singapore who have their son in military school for high school here, and they flew in from Singapore to see him. But they have dual citizenship in Singapore and the United States. But no, this place is they have a lot of history, Johnny. There's a lot of history, and so we're going to get a tour and check out the military museum and everything else. But George Washington kind of had the vision because he loved the viewpoint from up here. And I mean, this is like ear popping stuff. You drive in the car and your ears start popping because you're going so high, or coming down they pop. So it's pretty up here, and you can see one of the paths I was telling Diane, you can actually see the skyline of New York City way up high. And so he could see the Hudson River and see if any of the British ships are coming. And he put a chain under the water across the water so the chain would stop the ships. And then Thomas Jefferson officially opened West Point Academy in 1802. So, looking around at stuff, I know Kamala visited the border, kinda, and we just gave $8 billion more, Diane, to Ukraine, I think. So there's that in the news. I don't know. When Trump was asking the debate what he wanted, and that he said, I want it to end. Johnny, there's no way, right? And maybe I'm wrong. Ukraine doesn't win that war. You're not going to win that war when the other side has a zillion nuclear weapons. God forbid they ever use them. But I don't know how that's winnable for Ukraine.
I think it can be ended. I think you can just sit down and say, okay, here's where it is, and work something else so you stop killing people. But as far as what the former President Donald Trump has in mind, I wouldn't hazard a guess. I would guess that it'll end a lot faster with him than with Kamala Harris, because I think that one reason that we have the war is because of the way the administration managed the whole thing leading up to it, and that Putin was emboldened when he realized, well, we do have an opportunity here. So that's what I believe. But
he was, I mean, they're sitting on the border for what, months? I mean, right on the border they had built up on the border of Ukraine and Russia. And, why wasn't action taken back then? Why wasn't action...
Well, it was worse than that. Biden was asked about it, and he said, no, I'm not necessarily going to. We'll see how far he goes in to see what he does.
Yeah, right. And then what were his words to several different things? No, don't. That's pretty much our diplomacy, one-word diplomacy. Oh, okay, so Kamala goes to the border. Good to know she cares about all that.
Yeah, that was probably almost a waste of time, even to say, oh, now I'm going to really work on this, because she's not going to do anything different except possibly try to get a legislation passed that would make it legal to do what they're doing. And as far as shutting it down, not a snowball's chance. And I don't think she has any intention of it. And that's a big problem, Stephen. It's getting worse. We just can't keep taking incoming, and just for the sheer cost factor. And then you look at all the other expenses we have and things we need to address for our own citizens first, even if you did want to open it up more to other people from other countries, which we could, if we close the border, we could go from 2 million allowed immigrants probably to 4 and manage it over a few years. It would take a while to get to that level, but if we want more people to come, we could do that. But we have an immigration policy that's just being ignored. And I don't think you can really count on anything if you have a mindset that if we don't like the particular law, we're just not going to do it, like the sanctuary city. And it doesn't matter what we talk about. Nothing will work if we can't agree on what to agree on.
Well, and I've said before, I think it would be a great show of solidarity if the people that believe in the open border would remove the front door of their home. That would be a sign to say, hey, I'm all for this. You can put plastic over it if you want, just to try and keep the heat or air conditioning in. But that would be a symbol of how many people are for an open border. Take the front door off your house, be brave and stand up. Put your fist in the air. But somehow I don't think an individual home would do that, Johnny, because it's the same dang thing. You got to know who's coming into your house. You got to know who's coming into your country. It doesn't make any sense. Trump says the loss of common sense. That's absolutely right. There's just no common sense on some of this stuff.
Well, and there's an agenda and a purpose, which is kind of to just dilute order, as well as maybe the vote, because they're trying to get permission from the illegals to vote. It's not going great for that. I think a closer kind of metaphor to taking the door off your house is just having someone who does believe in open borders as your mayor or your leader, and have a third of your town turn into illegal aliens who can't speak English. And by the way, people are losing their homes. We're really being resettled because remember Fiddler on the Roof? People come in. Some of these people have 10 or 15 grand in their account from us to live. So rents go up because our tax dollars are being given to people who are driving Americans out of their home because they can't afford higher rent. No one's giving them money right now. And so you either give everybody money, which means total chaos, or you stop letting people in we can't afford. How about if we can't afford to do this? And I'm not counting the fentanyl costs of pain and suffering and the honest dollars and cents costs of crime. So I think most everybody agrees the open border policy is bad. Many people still don't necessarily think that it's Biden-Kamala's fault. Some people don't think Trump really did that good a job, even though he showed the chart that he claimed saves his life which was Customs and Border Control a chart, and it was 4 times less people coming in. It was way down to almost nothing. Remember how hard they worked to stop him from building the wall too. So there would have been even less if they would have allowed the opposition would have allowed Trump to do the wall the way he wanted to. But he had to actually use military money by claiming a national security issue, which I think is valid. But he could not get the Democratic Congress to give him money for that wall. And that's just a lockstep order, by the way. A lot of Democrats actually would like to close the border. But if they're told in Washington what to do, they do that. They get a list of vote no on 1 and 2, yes on 3, no on 1. So that's how on 4. That's our representation. The leadership tells them how to vote, and they vote the same. How else do you think 200 people vote exactly the same way when they're told? That doesn't happen in real life.
No. Well, and how does Springfield, by the way, Springfield, Ohio, where our grandfather's from. Papa was from Springfield, Ohio, I believe, and there's 20,000 Haitians with a population of 60,000, and they don't speak English, and they are getting money. So how will that town ever recover from that? I mean, how will they ever assimilate? How will that, it would probably be the residents of Springfield will just go somewhere else maybe, sometimes, if they can.
Well, if they can. Well, Bobby and I drove through Lusk, Wyoming, nice little town. It was 1,500 people. And a lot of traffic through there, so they have a little carriage museum and we have one hotel. And Biden moved enough people from Chicago into the hotel where there's no room. They get paid hotel and $1,200 a month. That was for COVID emergency. No one knows why he picked those people. Anyway, nobody can stop. All the business is down. They're not working because they're getting $1,200 a month, and there's problems. And that's a kind of, I guess, disrespect for the average citizens. This is a place called Lusk, Lusk, Wyoming. I mention it because how many other places have you never heard of that have these kinds of things going on? And it's a terrible thing. And when will it happen to town closest to you? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Wow.
No, I know. And so, again, but if Kamala Harris wins, it doesn't change, right?
No. I think it could get worse. But I don't think it'll change. She's been a complete go to the mat proponent of this for forever. And don't forget, Biden isn't really a true believer progressive. He said, I'll do it because I want to be president. There's a difference. And he's not the sharpest knife in the door. But Kamala is a true progressive. Her dad is a Marxist. And some of that, I guess, got down to her because she wants what's called socialism. And they're doing the things that socialists do, which is shut down dissent. Like you and I wouldn't really be legal once they really take hold. You can't talk about the things the way we talk about. Like, you know, we don't think a guy should play on a sports team. That's illegal. You're anti-state. You're causing some sort of insurrection, and it's hate speech. It's easy to say.
Right. No, that's it. That's right. Well, it's Brother Johnny, ESPN 93.5, Tapman's Toy and Phone Lines. Everybody that texts in on the Fisher National Bank text line is 217-359-2255. So the debate Tuesday, will America be watching the vice presidential debate, or does it matter?
I think people watch. I don't think it matters. But I think, let me think about, I think Tim Walsh will show up okay. It's really a photo op kind of thing and a personality check. There's nothing necessarily there. With Trump Harris, there was very little substance from her, but she did a great job with poise and acting. So it was worth her doing it. And Trump played the angry man role, wrong role. He should have played the nice gut-filled, kind of relaxed, smiling role. Come on, Donald. And but it's always a part of our Americana. I would say how the two guys respond in that environment. It's completely different, and it's important. And we should have had more than one presidential debate in this case. But she's only going to do it on her own court, so you can't keep walking into that. But by the way, we had a great event last night here in Louisiana. Bobby and I were sitting with the governor, and we had our attorney general. It's called Louisiana Family Forum, and it's a group that promotes not just family values, but families and the idea of families, but mainly that God is in control. And it's really the group that prompted there's the law that you've heard about, the 10 Commandments. If you or I, as private citizen, present the plaque of the 10 Commandments to the schools, I think this would be good history and a good way to live your life, then the schools shall put it up. Okay. And the idea was, well, nobody's against the 10 Commandments. Okay, that's wrong. We get sued from everybody across the country. You can't do that. Separation of church and state.
Yeah,
and the state has stopped any reference to church because Jefferson wrote in some of his papers about the separation of church and state, which he meant the government can't do exactly what they're doing. It was the opposite intent. And it's not in the Bill of Rights, by the way. It's not
anywhere in the Constitution. It's not in the Constitution.
No, absolutely not. And so it was actually intended to allow any form of religious expression, which we've seen happening with other religions. But with Christianity, it's offensive to some of the non-Christians. But I think the main theme was, if we try to do what God really wants us to do, instead of actually trying to make it bad, and a lot of pro-life comes into that, which really stirs people up. But then you'll be blessed, and things are going pretty well for us right now. But I think it was a really kind of positive event with a lot of great people, and well. Again, you don't want to offend anyone, but in this state, if you're a boy, you're a boy. And if you're a girl, you're a girl. And you can't mix up bathrooms. That's a law here, too, now. So,
Louisiana, quite the Republican state now, as red as there is, I think. So,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
But, all right, well, before we let you go, New Orleans plays in Atlanta. There's a dome in Atlanta. Not a lot of rain there, but that won't affect that game. Okay. Can the Saints win in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think so. We have a new team now because in the second set of downs, we lost McCoy, our all-pro center.
Is he not back?
Oh, no. He's 6-8 weeks.
Oh.
So it wasn't just the backup center isn't any good because he is. But the offensive line's a machine, and we scored those 91 points in the first two games. They were just clicking. It just happened. And he calls out the various
blocking,
right, when he looks up, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah,
and so what happened was, we have 5 good linemen. Center goes out. Right tackle goes to center. Left guard goes to right tackle. In comes another guy. Now you got a brand new line. And we could, the first quarter and a half, we couldn't keep. I was telling you, the defensive line for Philly was back with Carr as fast as he could hike it in the shotgun. I mean, he never, until near the end of the third quarter, every pass he threw had someone coming at him unabated. So it was a complete,
I remember,
and we had to do that real, right? So,
well, we hope that the Saints win. The Bears play the Rams, and I know there's grumbling, but we got to get those Bears a win on Q96. And then the Illini, only 3 hours from where I am, are playing Penn State with 107,000 white-energied fans. Can Illinois upset Penn State? 18-point underdog.
Well, we did get to go, up to, like a video game, up the level from Kansas at home. Nebraska with 87,000. And now homecoming at Penn State with 106,000. So that's probably our a high level of see how we are. I think we're good enough. I think the Bears are good enough to win. And I think the Illini are too. So
that'd be so exciting. All right. Well, Johnny, appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did, and that was also homecoming, by the way. That was 87,000 homecoming in Nebraska.
I was up there, baby. But you got to tell Jacob, your son-in-law, that I should say hello, and tell me more about West Point when we talk again. I want to hear what
Yes,
you think.
I will. We'll get full
Incredible
of facts.
American
And
history. Yeah.
it really is. And I'm loving soaking some of this stuff up and appreciation for the people that came before us. Johnny, thank you for your time. We're talking
All right,
in a
thanks
few
for
days
calling,
next week.
CJ.
Thanks, Johnny. All right, go Illini, go Saints. All right, ESPN 93.5, a break. We'll come back and wrap it up from West Point, New York.
Fighting Illini football is back in Champaign as they take on the Purdue Boilermakers in Memorial Stadium Saturday, October 12th. To celebrate Food and Ag Day, there will be a special petting zoo inside Grange Grove. It's also Youth Sports Day. Get tickets that include a special Fighting Illini youth jersey for all young athletes. These special ticket offers are limited, so get your tickets now for Illinois versus Purdue, Saturday, October 12th at fightingillini.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And destructive Hurricane Helene making landfall into the Big Bend area of Florida yesterday, late afternoon, early evening time, packing better than 100-mile-per-hour winds. Currently situated in tropical storm form and fashion east of Atlanta, Georgia. Slew of high winds above 60 miles per hour all across the western through southern Carolinas and through Alabama and Georgia. Pretty quick north-northwestward speed on that, but rapid weakening down to depression later this afternoon and evening time once again into Middle Tennessee. Wide and expansive rains overhead to the east and south will continue to build to the north and west, counterclockwise around that circulation right on through the next couple of days. Next week, it is a mild and dry weather pattern. Hang in there with harvest in mind. 75 today, down to 63 tonight, 73 tomorrow, mid-70s on Sunday, dry next week. Heads up over the next 24 to 36 hours for those high winds up to 50 miles per hour. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solgay.
ESPN 93.5. Thank you for listening. Diane's going to take care of you next hour. We got Smoke Show coming up with Tim Onstad. He's in Terre Haute today, getting ready for something you can actually go to. You go down there to Terre Haute, Diane. It's $30, $25, something like that to get in, and you can taste all of the 20 competitors, all their food. That would be kind of fun because it's going to be Tim and Donna are going to put together the best brisket ever. That's coming up. Mayor Dave Frank Finan you're talking to here in just a bit.
That's right.
She got an award. We'll illuminate that.
That's right.
But anyway, we'll soak up a whole lot of history here for the weekend at West Point, home of the West Point Academy, and share some more. But just a great chance to be with Grace and Jacob and not talking a lot of baseball. We're talking a lot of memories that he has from West Point. Donald Trump on June 13th of 2020 was a speaker at Jacob's graduation. And it was right at the start of COVID. So there were no people there. You couldn't even have your family at that graduation. And the president was there and stood, and we got within 10 feet of him. And he saluted every single one of the graduates. That would be 1,100 graduates. And it was a very hot day, and he stood the whole time and saluted every single one of them. He would like to have shaken their hand, but again, it was COVID, and everybody had to keep their distance as we remember that rough time that began in 2020. All right, we'll wrap it here from West Point, New York, where it is beautifully kind of mountainous, and we don't see much of that in Central Illinois. Some really, we went down a street last night. It was in West Point, right near the base, right near the school, the campus, and I thought it was going down the crookedest street in San Francisco, man. It was steep. Wow. So you might want to have good tread on your tires if you visit. In any event, Diane, thank you. We appreciate it, and we'll be back on Monday, and we'll talk to you then. Have a blessed weekend, everybody.
Getting ready to hit that commercial for Kelsey's sale tomorrow in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, huge. You got to go. The sales, that's a real deal there. They got prices whacked. You got to go down there.
All right, so that's how we'll leave you today, and enjoy your weekend, Stevie. Great time
Thank you,
with
Diane.
the family.
Talk soon.
All right.
Thank you.
ESPN 93.5, great weekend ahead, and we are seeing a lot of rain with Hurricane Helene and millions without power down in the southern region, and we'll learn more with our top-of-the-hour news here on ESPN 93.5 at 7:59.
It's almost here. Kelsey Furniture Warehouse Sale is coming Saturday, September 28th from 9 to 5. Hundreds of one-of-a-kind discontinued brand name items throughout the store and warehouse. Many items priced at or below dealer's cost. A large selection of dining rooms, living rooms, bedrooms, and bedding. Delivery services available, but haul your own and save. Kelsey Furniture Warehouse Sale, Saturday, September 28th from 9 to 5. You don't want to miss this. Kelsey Furniture in beautiful downtown Tuscola. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
They're still assessing Helene's damage. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. She stormed ashore south and east of Tallahassee, Florida last night. 140-mile-an-hour winds, making it a Category 4 hurricane.
The impacts are far-reaching, and we expected that, which is why we were telling people to evacuate. Southwest Florida, which 2 years ago was hit by Ian, you're seeing a lot of impact in the Fort Myers area, Tampa, Pinellas, really the entirety of the Big Bend area, the Gulf Coast, Southwest Florida.
Florida's Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez. Storm surge reached 9 feet in some areas. The storm is now moving quickly through Georgia, but as a tropical storm. There have been hundreds of water rescues in the Tampa area and as far north of as Atlanta, where responders have been using rafts to rescue people. Fox weather meteorologist Bob Van Dillen heard a woman screaming for help during a live shot in Atlanta this morning. He found her in her car, trapped in rising floodwaters.
She was panicking. The water was coming up. It was getting cold for her, obviously. So it was a situation developing. She was a short lady too, so she was probably about 5 feet. There's no way she was going to be able to touch it. Just put her on my back and brought her up.
The woman is now safe. The government has just issued its consumer price index for last month, saying prices rose just 0.1% from July to August. That's half the gain from the month previous. Year-to-year inflation now pegged at 2.2%. Vice President Harris headed for the border, a campaign appearance today in Douglas, Arizona.
She's going to say that problems are there because Donald Trump told Republicans to kill a bipartisan border bill last year. But when you look at the full 3.5-year picture here, 8.3 million border encounters for the 3.5 years of the Biden-Harris administration. That is up 241.5% from the 2.4 million southwest border encounters of the Trump years.
Fox's Peter Ducey. America is listening to Fox News.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccines subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
New York City's Mayor Eric Adams expected in New York federal court today at midday for his arraignment on federal corruption charges.
According to the criminal indictment, which is more than 50 pages long, prosecutors laid out a history of corruption that they say started when Adams served as Brooklyn Borough president and continued through Adams' 2021 mayoral campaign. Prosecutors say Adams took bribes, sought out illegal campaign contributions, and accepted free flights, dinners at high-end restaurants, and upgrades at luxury hotels from wealthy foreign nationals. The indictment comes amid at least 3 other ongoing and separate federal investigations linked to people in Adams' administration, leading to a slew of resignations in recent weeks. But Adams says he's staying on. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address the United Nations General Assembly today, even as Israeli troops are reportedly planning a ground attack against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. More rockets were fired toward Israel from there this morning. Ukraine's President Zelensky will meet with former President Trump today. A young couple's EV test drive goes horribly wrong.
Scary moments for a Florida couple who took a Tesla home for an overnight test drive to see what it would be like to own the car. They soon regretted their decision, though, when shortly after arriving home, they parked and the car locked and shut off with the key inside and their 10-month-old baby in the back seat. The problem is demo cars are not equipped with the app to unlock it. Tesla Roadside Assistance was unable to help, and the Tesla dealership was not answering the phone. So they called 911. First responders solved that problem in a low-tech kind of way, smashing the driver's side window and bringing the crying child to safety. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
And I'm Jack Callahan. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. State Treasurer is returning missing money to nearly 140,000 residents. A record-setting 138,000 people are in line to receive a total of just over $13 million from the state's Unclaimed Property Program. The checks are part of the latest round of the Enhanced Money Match Program that allows the Treasurer's office to automatically return money to individuals without the need to file a claim. Early voting for the November general election is underway throughout much of Illinois. Registered voters can cast their ballots early through November 4th. Early voting kicks off in Cook County and the city of Chicago early next month. Second phase of the South Mahomet Road project done. South Mahomet Road now connects Churchill to Prairie View Road. Cars drove on it for the first time after the village hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony Wednesday. It was the second phase of the project. It supports transportation between local streets and state and federal highways. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. At 8:06, I'm Diane Ducey. Our weather forecast is brought to you by Carl. And if you're a man in your 50s, it's time for the talk to discuss the pros and cons of prostate cancer screening. It is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I was reading about black men. Sometimes it's 1 in 8. The statistics are alarming. You can visit more for details with Carl Health at carl.org. Greg, a lot of people are concerned about the Cat 4 that came into the Big Bend overnight with Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, it is still into play, at least now. Tropical storm Helene still packing winds at around 70 miles per hour and still a pretty good forward speed. So that system came barreling in yesterday late afternoon, early evening, and then now situated about 100 miles or so east of Atlanta, Georgia. A turn to the northwest is getting underway, and it'll begin to hit the skids as it hits about middle Tennessee, and it gets absorbed by this upper weather system that brought rains here a few days ago. And so that thing stalls on out and continues to whip around. A pretty good wind pattern even this far into the Midwest, with strong high pressure to the north and the big old hole in the atmosphere with Helene down to the south and southeast. Evident with a northeast wind now at 20, gusting 33 miles per hour over at Will and Savoy. Some rain there, 63. North end of the rain is up to and around, maybe just south of about Milford there in Iroquois County, to a little bit south and east of about Springfield. It's all kind of coming out of Indiana from east to west, counterclockwise around that circulation. Raining in 62 over at Danville, no rain, and 64 at the Kankakee. That'll be the north end of anything significant, and probably as far west as about Springfield at 64 degrees. Should pick up about a half to maybe a little shy of an inch of rain. Much lesser numbers to the northwest, greater numbers south and southeast. But don't worry, panic, or anything like that with harvest in mind. We'll get back at it for weeks to come, beginning next week. Heading towards an afternoon high today here in east central Illinois of about 75. That northeast wind to 50 miles per hour this afternoon. Evening time wind advisory until midnight tonight, down to 63, and passing spells of shower activity tomorrow night and Sunday. High temperatures the mid 70s, then 78 on Monday with the sun back in, 75 Tuesday, a little cooler Wednesday at 78, and sunshine and in the 70s. More dry weather next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Thank you, Greg. I'm Diane Ducey. Stevie Jay is in West Point with his son-in-law, Jacob, involved in all of that. So I've got some special guests I'm having talk to me about updating information, and Mayor Deb Frank-Finan had some moments this morning. Thanks for agreeing to be on, Deb.
No problem. Thanks for asking me.
I feel like it's been a while. Maybe we should just catch up on family. How are things in the city of Champaign for you and your husband and kids?
I appreciate that. Yeah, everything's great. I'm now old enough to have a kid in grad school and a senior who's looking at colleges. So
that's crazy. I mean,
I know.
They get older, but we don't. I don't know how.
Not at all.
So, and I had Mayor Diane Ann on from the city of Urbana, Marlon, just a few days ago. She's recruiting for the partial census that they're doing near campus as they get field representatives. And so that's a quest for her right now for a story that was released this week, as it looks like you got the tap as president of the Illinois Municipal League. Let's talk about that honor.
Yeah, so it's a great organization. It is all the mayors and town board presidents, so basically mayors, because like Village of Savoy, you're a president, not a mayor. But for the state of Illinois, I've been on their board since 2020, and so it's a 1 year, and I will get to lead that organization along with their very capable and amazing staff. And as you can imagine, we do a lot of focus on legislation because there's a lot that goes through the General Assembly that ends up having an impact on local government. So we spend a lot of time working on that.
Did you know going in as mayor that you would have this myriad of complex issues that are coming together in local government, that you'd have to, stay positive and have that kind of an impact on the city of Champaign?
I think I was blissfully unaware. I mean, you think about government, and at least I did in the beginning, city council was public works, fire, and police, right? Like, that's what we did. And it was being a good steward of taxpayer money and, kind of solving for the next generation. We are way more than that now. And, we can agree or disagree about whether that's a good thing. But what I've learned over time is if we don't take care of the residents of our community, if we're not, safe and prospering, then it doesn't matter how many potholes you fill. And so our focus has shifted, I think in a good way, to be, a more caring community and a community that is really focused on the lives of our residents as much as the basic services.
So let me talk about diversity. I know the NAACP convention is in town this weekend.
It
right?
is. I get to go do the welcome at lunch. I'm so excited. Yeah.
It is exciting. And we've been seeing things as we work with, it used to be the Champaign County Convention and Visitors Bureau with Jane DeLuce. And let's talk about the partnership with, Experience CU and how things have been developing in the city of Champaign.
Yeah, so they're amazing. They get outside funding from the state too, but I think City of Champaign is their largest sole source funder, at least out of the local governments and the university. We are all in on the impact that they make because the dollars we invest there come back to us, many-fold through our hotel motel tax or our food and beverage tax, but it also allows our economy to thrive. And so they do a great job. And, their foundation is really responsible and instrumental in the African American History Trail. Mm-hmm. And that has been, that has grown over time. There's a great website you can go to get information about our local African American history, but then there are also art installations and signs throughout. It's really throughout Champaign County. It's not just City of Champaign focused, although we're very proud of the information that's here. And, that's one of the things. The Illinois Municipal League the board members will be in Champaign for their summer meeting in July. And so I've been talking with Jane and ECU about doing a tour of the trail where, we get on a bus and we kind of drive around the community and get to see all of that amazing artwork that has been part of the trail. So it's definitely something that draws people or keeps them here. If they come for a football game and they get up on Sunday morning, hey, there's something to do in our community. Maybe they stay through lunch and, spend some money in our community, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. And speaking of the Moving and Shaking Champaign Center partnership has recently been talking about how the parade's going to look in downtown Champaign when it comes to that Saturday after Thanksgiving on November 30th. And we're cracking a few eggs to make the omelet there in downtown Champaign. Can you talk about some of the changes we're seeing in downtown Champaign?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it will disrupt things for a little bit. We are in the process of our plaza construction, which is about 20 years in the making, maybe a little bit longer. It's been in our downtown plan forever, and we were really focused on trying to find grant dollars to get it done. We just didn't, we weren't going to, I think, take operating funds to make it happen. And we were really blessed. Former Senator, late Senator Scott Bennett, was able to get money into the state budget to allow for the development of the plaza. And, that means that we're all living with the construction, which is, a pain. I fully recognize that. But when it's done, it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's going to have a plug-and-play stage. So, you talk about events like Parade of Lights in downtown, which I know you're really a big part of, but you're going to have a plug-and-play stage right there on a plaza that is, all of our community can be a part of, and that can be used throughout multiple seasons. And we're just really excited to have that focal point in downtown Champaign.
Well, I think it's terrific too. Of course, looming is the election. I want to say maybe the season has opened up today. Mayor Deb Frank Finan on ESPN 93.5. Let's reflect a little bit about the election season.
Yeah, so, City of Champaign and School Board and Park Board are all spring elections. So, that doesn't happen until April of next year. So people, I always ask people to remain focused, because I think after November with the big federal elections and, you're electing your Senate and representatives, people are sort of tired of it. They've seen all the ads and they're done. And then we're knocking on their door and saying, oh, please remember the municipal elections. So stay focused on April, but, you have a little bit of time in there. And, we at the City of Champaign, unlike Urbana, we are nonpartisan. So I really think that that's a great entry into politics, right?
Too.
It is. I have been, and I started on the county board. We were partisan, but over time, I have just come to love the idea that we're focused on the issues of how do we make our community better, not on the politics of it.
Yes.
And so we disagree about how we're going to get to wherever we think we're going to go, but you don't have this, I'm going to line up on one side or another just because there's party politics involved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a joy to be part of the city council. I have absolutely loved that, and I came from I came from county board, so it was pretty partisan. And I think all local government really ought to be nonpartisan. Dan McCullum always says there is no Republican or Democrat way to fill a pothole, and he is exactly right.
Okay. If anybody has any questions about anything, you can always visit champaignil.gov. Our time has run out. Mayor Deb Frank Finan, thanks for being on the show today, and congratulations on the leadership role with the Illinois Municipal League.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. That's Deb Frank-Finan. I'm Diane Ducey. It's always great to connect with the mayor of Champaign here on ESPN 93.5. And you can always hear the conversation back if there's something you wanted to look into. And that's StevieJay.com as you visit our podcast feature. Our meteorologist Greg Solier with his weather forecast now, and then our Fox Business Minute.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Impact on weather around here. Compliments of that weather system to the south at Helene, making landfall yesterday evening time. Still a tropical storm east of Atlanta, Georgia, and still packing 65 to 70 mile per hour winds over the southeastern part of the country. And yeah, the rain is into play, covering about the southeastern half of the listening area. It'll creep as far north as just about the Kankakee and to about the I-55 corridor over the next couple of days. Steadiest of the rainfall for today and through tonight. Highs up to 75. We'll bottom out tonight to around 63. Watch those northeast winds. They'll pick up, gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour, and a wind advisory till midnight tonight. Highs up to 73 tomorrow. Still windy with a couple of showers both morning and afternoon. Lingering rain chance for the day Sunday. Mostly cloudy, 75. Combines and outdoor work will be a rolling with a nice spell of weather ahead for next week. 78 on Monday. Sunshine, 75 Tuesday. Cooling to 68 on Wednesday. Back in the 70s next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The latest inflation readings are mixed, though there are signs of progress. The PCE price index rose just 0.1% last month. For the year ending in August, it was up 2.2%. Both readings show improvement and are lower than expected. However, core PCE for the year ending in August rose to 2.7% from 2.6% in July. Inflation in February of 2022 was at 5.6%, the highest reading in 39 years. Bristol-Myers Squibb shares are up 4%. The FDA has approved its new treatment for schizophrenia in adults. Costco shares are losing ground, though its earnings topped expectations and sales rose in the recent quarter. Wall Street was expecting even stronger sales and revenue. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosolda, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino. This week on Perino on Politics, we're taking a closer look at the state of the race in two very important swing states, Pennsylvania and North Carolina. This week, I'm joined by my guest, Philadelphia-based radio host and former GOP strategist, Rich Zeoli, as well as Raleigh-based Republican strategist with the Indy Group, Jonathan Feltz. What does each of them believe that the candidates need to do to win those states? Available now on FoxNewsPodcast.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Flooring Surfaces has a brand new showroom. You'll see beautiful products displayed in new and exciting ways, with inspiration around every corner. Enjoy a modern floor covering experience in a space designed to showcase what Flooring Surfaces does best. Premium flooring options, free design assistance, free expert advice, and professional installation services. Now in a showroom that's easy to shop. Visit today at 401 Mercury Drive in Champaign.
Flooring Surfaces, your first stop.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
The Central Illinois Bat Festival is coming to the Urbana Park District September 28th. The Bat Festival is free and has activities for all ages. It's at the Anita Purvis Nature Center from 1 to 4. Then the Central Illinois Bat Festival moves to Crystal Lake Park from 5:30 to 8:30. You can have a free walk and listen, then look for bats. Everything is free. Central Illinois Bat Festival, September 28th, urbanaparks.org. Well, it's good to play that because we're getting ready to talk with Jacob Johnson with the Urbana Park District. How are you this morning, Jacob?
I'm having a lovely morning, Diane. How are you?
I'm good. Now, I just mentioned the Bat Festival and the commercial with the Urbana Park District. It's the first time they've done this sort of thing in Central Illinois, and I'm looking forward to that. 1 to 4, Anita Purvis Nature Center, and then you move on down to Crystal Lake Park for more activities from 5:30 to 8:30 as we get into dusk. And, look for bats, and I think they're fascinating. I've always been a big bat fan. So, and we're wrapping up Take a Child Outside Week. I'm telling you, this must be such a fun place to work at the Urbana Park District, Jacob.
Oh, we love it. And September to October is a bustling time for us, and we wouldn't have it any other way. It's a great, great time to be an Urbana-Champaign resident or drive on out here.
Absolutely. And starting on Monday, September 30th, and getting into that first week of October is Active Aging Week. And as I was digging around and seeing an article that Janet Sosby had written with the News Gazette, evidently this goes back to 2003 that we've been saluting Active Aging Week. What have we got planned?
Yeah, we have a real nice slew of events this year. In fact, I believe we're up to 48 individual events, which pretty much doubles our efforts last year. So we are extremely excited to be able to share these events with some of the older adults in our community and, get some folks socializing, get some folks, contributing to society in a way that, they really want to. And I think it's going to be a positive, great week.
Absolutely. And so many great organizations participating too. I know in the past there's been like 14 different locations in the Urbana Park District on the free wellness and activity side and exercise programs. Let's talk about what we can do during Active Aging Week next week.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think with 48 events, some folks might get a little overwhelmed. So what I've been telling people is maybe check out our schedule. You can either grab one at the Phillips Recreation Center in Urbana, or you could go by any of our participating locations. There's an awful lot of organizations represented this year. We also do have the schedule online at urbanaparks.org under our age-friendly section. But I've been telling folks, hey, maybe just pick one activity on Monday. Just commit to maybe one or two things, and I think after just those short events, you'll be very, very inclined to do some more. So for Monday, we've got some really exciting things. We have things that are pretty practical, things that are fun, and then things that are exercise, which you're going to find are three big themes of the week. So on Monday, folks could stop by Stone Creek Church in the morning, and they can do the Fit, which is a really nice program in which some Parkland College occupational therapy assistant students will essentially make sure when you are sitting in that car, you are at the perfect seat level. Everything is as comfortable and functional as it can possibly be. I didn't know how bad my posture was while I was driving until I had them help me out, and it was a really nice experience. We also have pickleball that day. We've got a chair exercise program, a healthy cooking demonstration over at the Phillips Recreation Center, and actually quite a few more. The only other Monday event I'd really love to shamelessly plug because it's kind of my event is we're throwing an oldies karaoke party over at the Phillips Recreation Center from 5
count
to
me
6:30.
in. I love that.
It's going to be a good time. Yeah, and I've got it planned so that not only is it like a karaoke party where one or a couple folks will go up and sing, but we have an extra screen that'll be projecting the lyrics. So it's really kind of like a karaoke party and a sing-along. So, some of your favorite 50s, 60s, and maybe 70s tunes. Should be a really good time.
I see. Well, I know the Fall Fusion Fest, the S'mores Social and Stroll, the Sunday morning bird walks are things that I highlighted. And the Urbana Park District has a lovely website, by the way. It's looking good. So
really proud of it.
It's I know that you mentioned Monday, but really you can, find something every day of the week, and body balance and brain is on the thing. And I see that Facebook.com/AgeFriendlyCU gives you all kinds of ideas. Hey, Jacob, I had a friend ask me about technology and how, seniors oftentimes have a difficulty with their phone. Is there anything on that available?
Yeah, absolutely. The Phillips Recreation Center at Urbana Park District actually has technology help hours for free. That's Monday through Friday at the Phillips Recreation Center. It is appointments required, so you'll have to, give us a call at the Phillips Center and schedule an appointment. But for the better part of the last 6 years, I've been very patiently helping some of the older adults in our community, and it is actually a very fun time. There's nothing more satisfying than somebody coming in, just being, real ticked off at their phone, and then leaving, with that confidence that they've got the ability to use this thing in the way that they want to.
We're going into the news now, Jacob. Thank you so much. UrbanaParks.org for details.
Tropical storm Helene rampaging through Georgia after blasting Florida's Big Bend as a Cat 4 storm. Governor DeSantis reports storm surge higher than Idalia. Power's out for millions through the Carolinas with flash floods and this high water rescue in Atlanta.
This lady drove into the area that's flooded out, and she's screaming right now. I just called 911. Fire department is coming in, but she drove right into the flood waters. This is the Peachtree Creek, and it is rising at the moment. We've got this thing cresting at about 23 feet.
Fox Weather's Bob Van Dillon, at least 3 dead. Former President Trump meets Ukraine President Zelensky at Trump Tower today. Candidate Kamala Harris says Trump's plan to end the war is surrender. Trump says it's saving lives.
It's a shame what's happening in Ukraine. So many deaths, so much destruction.
As Harris visits the Arizona border for the first time, America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Early voting for the November general election is underway throughout much of Illinois. Registered voters can cast their ballots early through November 4th. Early voting kicks off in Cook County and the city of Chicago early next month. Second phase of the South Mahomet Road project done. South Mahomet Road now connects Churchill to Prairie View Road. Cars drove on it for the first time after the village hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony Wednesday. It was the second phase of the project. It supports transportation between local streets and state and federal highways. State Treasurer is returning missing money to nearly 140,000 residents. A record-setting 138,000 people are in line to receive a total of just over $13 million from the state's Unclaimed Property Program. The checks are part of the latest round of the Enhanced Money Match Program that allows the Treasurer's office to automatically return money to individuals without the need to file a claim. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thanks, Jim. I'm Diane Ducey. Stevie J taking a trip. He was with us the first hour of the show. We've got Tim Onstad, our grill and pit master, coming up, and where he's going to be touring, what he's going to be making. It's great for those who love to tailgate and bring it with their A game. Hey, speaking of some fun times and great food, I know I'm going out tonight and checking out the Virginia Theater's hair band experience with a bunch of friends. Looking forward to that. If you want to go to a show tonight, take someone special, thevirginia.org, and Back the Badges coming up in a week, Friday, October 4th with Warrant at City Center. It's just an online search away to get tickets to that. We've got your weather forecast for the weekend from our meteorologist, Greg Solier now.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And destructive Hurricane Helene making landfall into the Big Bend area of Florida yesterday, late afternoon, early evening time, packing better than 100-mile-per-hour winds. Currently situated in tropical storm form and fashion east of Atlanta, Georgia. Slew of high winds above 60 miles per hour all across the western through southern Carolinas and through Alabama and Georgia. Pretty quick north-northwestward speed on that, but rapid weakening down to depression later this afternoon and evening time once again into Middle Tennessee. Wide and expansive rains overhead to the east and south will continue to build to the north and west, counterclockwise around that circulation right on through the next couple of days. Next week, it is a mild and dry weather pattern. Hang in there with harvest in mind. 75 today, down to 63 tonight, 73 tomorrow, mid-70s on Sunday, dry next week. Heads up over the next 24 to 36 hours for those high winds up to 50 miles per hour. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Golden Nugget Casino is your winning destination for fun and fortune. Since our grand opening, we paid out over $23 million in jackpots to more than 10,000 winners. In July, more than 800 guests won jackpots totaling over $2 million. Golden Nugget Casino, the best place to win. Located just off I-74 at the Illinois-Indiana border in Danville. Not valid for any participant of the Illinois Gaming Board statewide voluntary self-exclusion program. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
When your pipes are in a pinch and your drains are feeling the strain, who do you call? The plumbing pros, of course. At Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, they're your reliable partners in all things plumbing. From leaky faucets to clogged drains, they can get any problem you have cleaned up and taken care of. Their licensed plumbers are on call 24/7, ready to swoop in and save the day whenever a plumbing emergency strikes. Don't let a plumbing problem ruin your day. Call at 217-841-4728 or visit them online at dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Yes, there he is, getting ready. He and Donna will be in Terre Haute for a big event. Tell me about what you're doing this weekend, sir.
Hey, we're doing the Fork in the Road barbecue competition in Terre Haute, Indiana. Put on by WTHI-TV at the Mill.
Didn't you win this or win part of this a year ago?
We won brisket and got second in chicken. However, the line is in, and we're 46-point underdogs going into this year.
I'm not believing that, partner. So you normally do the KCBS kind of a tour. What's the difference?
Yep. This is a non-sanctioned event, and it's open to everybody. And the pet masters, most of them are local. They don't have the big national touring guys. But that doesn't mean the competition is going to be any less stiff. A lot of these backyard guys know what they're doing. And the big challenge for us is it's not our little dainty competition cook where we're doing 4 different meats, but we're doing smaller quantities. We're doing that part, but we're also serving the public. We have to cook 4 pork butts, 10 racks of ribs, 25 pounds of chicken, just for the public sampling for the people's choice.
That's awesome. So people that are there are going to get a sample of your food, right?
They can come in, buy a ticket, $30 a ticket, the concerts all day, and starting at 1 o'clock, they can sample the food from all of the contestants.
Oh, my goodness.
And make their choice. They have a say in who wins $500.
All right. Well, we want people to go to Terre Haute. It's easy to find, I'm sure. And you said there's going to be 50 people competing?
No. They have somewhere between 10 and 20 teams competing in this. But for $30 a ticket, you can sample the food from all of that. They're going to have actually a couple of restaurants are going to cook extra barbecue that they're giving away too, in case there's not enough, but I think there's going to be plenty.
Yeah.
You're not going to go away hungry if you come and sample all of that.
Go find Tim Adana. Find the best looking outfit that you're ever going to see at these things. So really, you're going from playing in the NBA to a Gus Macker. This is Gus Macker. They're really good guys. They can dunk. Okay, so
yeah, loaded and rolling barbecue is going to be there.
That's awesome.
Powered by Gale Frericks Trucking, and thanks to Gale and all the people at GFT that allow us to go and do this. We have customers coming in as guests for this too. Employees that come in. I think we've got like 48 tickets spoken for that we're providing to employees, customers, and friends of GFT.
That's awesome. Well, I know Gail is a fan, and he loves your food. I do know that. And everybody loves your food. Tim, you and Donna just do an amazing job. So I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to hear how you do in Terre Haute this weekend. Is it so? I come Saturday, 1 o'clock is when I can start tasting. Only $30, and I get my fill of all the great people there.
That's right, and there's some good music playing too.
Awesome. In the background, that'd be just fine because I can't get too close to the stage, or I'll say it's too darn loud. Okay, Tim. What about dedicated diesel and all those Dixie choppers? How's that going?
Hey, we've got a few Dixie choppers left. Not a whole lot. So if you're interested in a Dixie chopper, you need to get over there. Fastest mower in the world. Fall clearance is going on. Andy's getting rid of these things. He's calling us about every day or every other day and say, "Hey, can I sell this for this?" So we're getting down on those and gonna get rid of all of them and start out new next year.
Well, in other words, if you want a deal, go to Dedicated Diesel on 45 as you're driving toward Rantoul. It's on Triumph Drive. Turn left. You can't miss it.
Yep, 217-328-0562. Andy Bowman is your guy.
Okay, and Gale Frericks Trucking. You need any drivers? I know you've hired a bunch.
We have hired a bunch. We're always looking for good drivers. Heck, I'll buy a truck if we need to put a really good guy in. We've got a grain hauling opening that would be perfect for somebody that semi-retired, has a CDL, wants to stick around home and make some money this fall.
Super deal. How would they reach you, Tim?
They can reach me at TIMO@GFTLOG.com. or 765-793-7131.
Hey, listen, good luck this weekend. I can't wait to hear.
Thank you, Stevie, and good luck to Illinois out in Happy Valley.
Let's go, Illini. Tim Onstadt, Dedicated Diesel and Gale Frericks Trucking, ESPN 93.5. Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Stephanie Pratt, the realtor that rocks, at StephaniePrattHomes.com supports local law enforcement with Stevie Jay Broadcasting as we party with a purpose on Friday, October 4th at City Center. With live and silent auction packages to bid on, food and rock and music, text in warrant to try to win free passes as we support the mental health of our first responders in crisis with assistance from the 1078 Foundation. Our studio text line is 217-359-2255.
Warren, coming to City Center on October 4th. Come on out and kick off your weekend by attending the Back the Badge Fest, presented by Grit and Grace Therapy on Friday, October 4th. Let's come together and support this fundraiser as it'll benefit the 1078 Foundation and the mental health of our first responders with Anchor Point. Tickets are live now. $25 for general admission or $45 to be in the party pit. To purchase your tickets, visit citycenterchampaign.com. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 8.
Does your bank keep rewards just out of reach? Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. While some banks save their reward programs for a select few, here at Fisher National, we offer free rewards checking to all of our customers. We are trying to reward you for the things you do every day. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive a statement electronically, and have at least one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's as easy as that. Rewards checking includes excellent 2.0 annual percentage yield for balances up to $20,000 and ATM refunds up to $20. Oh, and no minimum balance is required. Free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Rewards within reach and service beyond. See monthly requirements at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Whether it's pro or college, the app to bet football is Circus Sports Illinois. Circus Sports, it's betting the way it should be. Circus Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circus Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com.
Must be 21 or older. For Illinois Problem Gambling Services, please call 1-877-968-7848.
Hi, Ellen Hook here, owner of your local Ashley. I have a big announcement. The Champaign Ashley store is getting a fresh new look, and you're invited to the remodel sale. Right now, save up to 65% off furniture and accessories throughout the store, with hundreds of items in stock and ready to take home today. But that's not all. Join us outside under the carport every weekend in September and October for extra savings on select furniture. It's all happening at your local Ashley in Champaign at 602 West Anthony Drive. Hurry into Ashley because these deals won't last long.
In fact, we're working with Ashley Home Store to give you a chance to win tickets to the Illinois-Purdue game as you get over there next week and sign up to win. As we get into October, before you know it, that October 12th game against the Boilermakers will be here. Of course, our Fighting Illini facing Penn State, ranked number 9. We're ranked number 19. As we say, go Illini here on ESPN 93.5 as we look at some of our sports. That game tomorrow on NBC starting at 6:30. I'll probably see Ellen Hook and her family in the parking lot of St. Matthew's as we gear up for Oktoberfest. And I was hearing from one of the coordinators, Larry, about the TV that they'll have available to people as I enjoy the polka band and then playing music after that and then watching the game. A nice Oktoberfest tomorrow between essentially 4 and 9 p.m. at St. Matthews in Champaign. When it comes to football, we had Dallas beating the New York Giants yesterday. Cowboys on top 20-15. We also have the Bears in action, hosting at Soldier Field against the LA Rams Sunday at noon, and you'll hear that over on Q96. When it comes to Illinois sports, we have Illinois volleyball on a road trip taking on number 9 Oregon at 9:30 tonight, and then Washington tomorrow while they're on the West Coast. As far as ESPN 93.5 being your home for the St. Louis Cardinals, the Rockies pulled one out of the series, 10-8 winners yesterday. Miles Michaelis on the mound with a 9:15 start here on ESPN 93.5 as we face San Francisco on the West Coast. Cincinnati is at Wrigley as we have the final series from Wrigley with the Cubbies heard at 120 over on US 105.9. Looking forward to that game. Jamison Talion on the mound. Cubs and Cardinals are neck and neck when it comes to their record, and I think people, local fans, are wondering how they'll finish out. Chicago White Sox, tied right now for worst record ever, keep winning. In fact, blanking the LA Angels 7-0 yesterday. Now they've got a series in Detroit with a 5:40 start. Also in women's basketball, Makaira Cook, congratulations on the preseason tap for the all-conference team. Of course, Illinois coming off the inaugural WBIT finale where they won and were champions last year. So go Illini with our basketball programs too. Again, Illinois versus Penn State tomorrow on NBC. It'd be great to watch the game with fans at Pia's and win some prizes tomorrow. Go Illini!
Why use Lands Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Lands has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Solar companies are on the rise, here today and gone tomorrow. Rector Solar and Roofing family roots back 4 generations, living and working in Central Illinois, with the goal to take the confusion out of replacing a roof or adding solar panels to your home or business. With all the incentives and rebates now available, solar is more affordable than ever. Let a knowledgeable representative take the worry and guesswork out of solar and get a free quote. Discover the Rector Factor for Solar. Call 217-281-7000 or visit rectorsolar.com.
Looking for the perfect pair of boots? Come on down to Pard's Western Shop in Urbana. With an amazing selection that fits every style, Pard's has the perfect pair waiting for you the next time you're hitting the rodeo or stepping out in style. They've got great deals and sale prices on men's cowboy boots, girls' cowgirl boots, and kids' boots. And their friendly staff will make sure you leave with the boots you love. Pard's Western Shop, serving its customers with high-quality merchandise since 1968. Go see them today at 306 North Maple Street in Urbana.
At 8:51, we're going to take a look at your weather forecast, and it's brought to you by the Urbana Park District with their Central Illinois Bat Festival tomorrow. Make sure you check out all the details of all the free activities you can do at the Anita Purvis Nature 1-4 tomorrow, and then from 5:30 to 8:30 at Crystal Lake Park, urbanaparks.org for details.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you. Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. And destructive Hurricane Helene making landfall into the Big Bend area of Florida yesterday, late afternoon, early evening time, packing better than 100-mile-per-hour winds. Currently situated in tropical storm form and fashion east of Atlanta, Georgia. Slew of high winds above 60 miles per hour all across the western through southern Carolinas and through Alabama and Georgia. Pretty quick north-northwestward speed on that, but rapid weakening down to depression later this afternoon and evening time, once again into Middle Tennessee. Wide and expansive rains overhead to the east and south will continue to build to the north and west, counterclockwise around that circulation right on through the next couple of days. Next week, it is a mild and dry weather pattern. Hang in there with harvest in mind. 75 today, down to 63 tonight, 73 tomorrow, mid-70s on Sunday, dry next week. Heads up over the next 24 to 36 hours for those high winds up to 50 miles per hour. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Hi, this is Steve from Good Vibes.
And I'm Kenendo Oluga, linebacker on the football team.
Hey, you mind if I call you KO? Seems to fit.
Yeah, but I don't really knock anybody out on purpose.
Well, Sony wants to knock your eyes out with their new Bravias.
What's a Bravia?
Best Resolution Audio Video Integrated Architecture. It's just a cool acronym for the best line of TVs on Earth, starting with the Bravia 9.
Are you going to talk about pixels again?
Nothing gets by you, KO, but this time it's mini LEDs, thousands of them, powered by the intelligent XR processor that sorts out hundreds of thousands of on-screen elements in real time to deliver color, contrast, and astounding realism to sports and movies.
Well, that was a mouthful. So it really pops out, right?
Let's just say the camera really catches you popping a runner. You'll see the look of pain right through his face mask. That's detail, that's Bravia.
The Pregnancy Resource Center and Mercy's Refuge will have their Living Alternatives fundraising banquet at the iHotel and Conference Center on Tuesday, October 15th, with the keynote speaker, Rebecca Hagan, sharing stories about teenage pregnancy and the abortion reversal pill.
The Cunningham Children's Home's 4th annual Be a Hero 5K is coming up on Saturday, September 28th. The race is open to walkers and runners of all skill levels. Reach superhero status by fundraising at least $100, and you'll be given a special superhero cape to wear during the race. Your favorite superhero costume is encouraged. The 5K will take place at Cunningham Children's Home, 1301 North Cunningham Avenue in Urbana. To register and learn more about this event, visit cunningham.org.
Grit and Grace Therapy presents Back the Badge with Stephanie Pratt. Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group at City Center on Friday, October 4th with big guns. Then Warrant rocking the stage. Text in Warrant to win tickets or to be selected in the party pit as we support local law enforcement at Stevie Jay Broadcasting.
I am ready for the weekend. This old Johnny Kemp song just got paid from back in the day when I used to DJ at the Skylight Club and Bombay Bicycle Club. I'm Diane Ducey. I hope your Friday has gone well. Thanks for listening. Stevie J on a trip and visiting his son-in-law in grounds that he's walked all the time in West Point, New York, sharing some history in our first hour. You can always listen at steviejay.com. We've got the 5K superhero run tomorrow at Cunningham Children's Home. Habitat for Humanity also doing their event at Restore, Raise the Woof. I mentioned that I'll be at St. Matthew's for their Oktoberfest tomorrow evening. I'm just ready for the weekend. An audience of one will come our way after 6 o'clock at the Virginia on Sunday evening. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Diane Ducey. Have a good one. ESPN 93.5.
Sticky nights and stuffy rooms make it hard to enjoy your home during the summertime? Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to make sure your air conditioning is working at its peak performance. Tune up your AC by joining the maintenance program and get all the perks it has to offer. Call Dogtown to come out for a no-cost quote to upgrade your system today with a Lennox high-efficiency system that will be sure to save you money on your energy bills and let you relax comfortably. Call 217-841-4728 or visit dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
This is Eric Bowen with Provident Financial Group. We are honored to be celebrating 15 years of service and want to thank all of our amazing clients for their confidence and trust. We look forward to meeting the needs of current and future clients in the years to come. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Family owned since 1929, Dust & Son Auto Supplies has been a cornerstone in our community, providing top-notch auto supplies to business and retail customers alike. 5 generations strong, built on trust, quality, and care. Now, Dust & Son is looking to grow its team. Whether you're a seasoned store manager or reliable delivery truck driver, full and part-time positions available. Just visit them, 1702 North Cunningham, Urbana, or go to dustandson.com and check out the job opportunities page.
Calling all U of I students. You live here, you count here. The city of Urbana has a special census being conducted in blue zones. Those in the special census zone, watch for a postcard with your 12-digit code. If you'd like to see the map, visit urbanaillinois.us/take census. Watch for a special census postcard sent with your 12-digit code that is unique to you specifically. Do your part. Take the special census on campus with the city of Urbana.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Rock out with the Hair Band Experience at the Virginia Theater Friday, September 27th. It's not too late to take that special someone and rock out with tributes to Poison, Def Leppard, and Bon Jovi. Fans of hard rock, this is your chance to show up at the Virginia Theater Friday, September 27th for the Hair Band Experience and have a great time. Get your tickets at thevirginia.org.